This is the 1993 Honda Civic DX Hatchback, which means it's from the 5th generation Honda Civic, which actually won Car of the Year in its introduction in Japan. And that also means we have some new options, such as a passenger side mirror, tilt steering, and power steering if it's equipped with it. This one is not. A driver's side airbag, and a rear window defroster. Talk about luxury. Power in the Civic was supplied by a naturally aspirated 1.5 liter single overhead cam 16 valve inline 4-cylinder gas engine, and it produced a whopping 102 horsepower and 98 foot-pounds of torque. Thankfully, it doesn't have to move around a whole lot. This thing only weighs 2,100 pounds. Now that power is sent to this 5-speed manual transmission, which gives this little Civic a 0 to 60 time of around 10 seconds. It is, of course, front-wheel drive, and this one only has 70,000 miles on it. You usually see these things all cut up, dragging on the ground, wicked low, loud exhaust. So to see one in this condition is exceptionally rare. This thing is practically mint. The interior is in immaculate shape for what this thing is. Usually these factory seats are long gone. You've got a cheap race seat bolted in here, maybe the rear seat gone, deleted in general, but it's all still here and it's in amazing condition. Now the majority of it is bone stock, but it does have a few things done to it. It's rolling on Civic EM1 SI wheels. It does have a chassis brace in the rear and aftermarket lower control arms, and it's riding on K-tuned coilovers, which luckily don't give this thing a bouncy and stiff ride. If I didn't tell you this thing had coilovers, you'd probably have no idea with the way the thing rides. It's smooth, it's not like stiff and bouncing around like coils sometimes do if you have them tuned up. The ride quality is very close to stock, but when you go to take a corner, it does feel a lot sharper and has a much better turn in than it would if it was on factory Civic suspension. It's just a nice overall little car in general. It's super smooth. Because the car doesn't weigh anything, you wouldn't even really know that it didn't have power steering. The whole thing's incredibly easy to operate. The clutch, the transmission, super smooth. This has got to be one of the easiest cars to drive that I've ever reviewed. And that 102 horsepower. It's not terrible. And it's definitely not as slow as some of the other vehicles that I've had the pleasure of driving that had barely 100 horsepower. It's sprightly, this thing. It's not the quickest thing in the world. It's not the fastest, but it's fun. It's a slow car that's fun to drive fast. I don't know if I'd call it a hot hatch. Maybe a lukewarm hatch. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Happy motoring.